Welcome back to episode 4 of the Irish Brotherhood Podcast. And today we have a guest, Pierce. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Pierce. I'm 16. I'm in school. Kinda relatable on this topic, but there's not really much.
Nice. How long have you been on self-improvement piece?
I've been on it since about first year. Yeah, since 2021. Yeah, about 2020 there.
Oh, nice. So for today's episode, we're going to be focusing on the education system. I got a few questions here. So Pierce, I'll start you off with where are you in the education system and how's it going?
Currently I'm in third year. I'm not really a fan of school anyway. Yeah, I'm in third year and it's going alright. Not getting in trouble very much. Sure, I'm doing grand. That's really it. There's not much to say about it.
Do you have to study a lot for the junior cert or are you taking it?
I'm taking it easy. I don't study at all. I barely do my homework. So,
Respectable.
yeah. I don't do very much. I just...
Oh, yeah, fair. Currently, I'm in TY, so it's probably the most chill year. We do fuck all in school, to be honest. Yeah, that's fair. We get no homework. I kind of wish, I definitely wish I considered more skipping it, but I didn't. So yeah, I'm just kind of focusing on like my football and doing this podcast and other things and the gym. So that's kind of my focus right now. But I'm not looking forward to fifth and sixth year where the real studying has begun. So what about you, Addy? Where are you at? I think you're a bit older than me, Pierce. So
Yeah,
you're a bit
so
further
in terms of the education system, I'm about to leave it. I'm in my last year of university, so that's going great, I guess. So last year of that, so struggle. I'm already past the struggle that you're about to have, so that's about it.
Pierce, let's start off with you. What's your favorite part and your least favorite part of the education system?
Favorite part of the education system is probably practical subjects like woodwork and metalwork. I really like those, and it's literally it. There is a couple things I do want to chat about, and that is there's not really great like life skills taught in school, whereas in like practical subjects, say like metalwork, you're doing stuff, you're not really writing as much, but you're like doing more things, and it's like it's more enjoyable for you and you're not using your head as much, so you're just doing stuff. And it's a lot better than writing out essays and more essays, just doing all day. Like it's just all paperwork, and then the half of the stuff that you do in school, you're never gonna use it in your life. Like, when am I ever gonna use Irish in my life except for fucking leaving cert or something like that? I did drop Irish in late second year, so I don't have to do Irish anymore, and it is a dream. It's a dream to not have Irish, and it's the best thing I've ever done. It was a nightmare when I had Irish in my class. Currently, since I don't have Irish, my least favourite part about school is French. It's pretty much Irish, but it's different. Yeah, that's about it.
What metalwork and woodwork's all about, because my school don't do them and I probably would have picked them if we did.
So pretty much metalwork in first year and second year, the teacher gets the designs and then he gives you a piece and then he draws the piece up on the board and he just does like measurements and you write them measurements on your piece and then you just copy what he's doing on the board and then he tells you to file this, cut that, sand this, and you just do as he says. It's handy out, and second year is pretty much the same. But now that I'm in third year, we're doing our junior cert project. From the last project, which was like feck all, this is like has like what 35 pieces and is way harder than anything else. It's like from your bare, like you're doing like fuck all, right? And then in like one or 2 days, you're way up there and you're doing way too much. Just a massive jump. Whereas in now that we're doing junior cert, like we get the drawings out ourselves. We put the measurements from the drawings onto our pieces ourselves, and sometimes the teacher helps us, so it's more independent. We're not allowed to help each other at all, so we do everything on our own. We're not allowed to help each other, and we're not allowed to tell each other because it's supposed to be on our own, because if you get someone else to do work for you, it's like you can't do that in the junior cert. It has to be you and you only, so it's like a big jump from first and second year. But it is quite handy because in first and second year you're doing like a bit of practical, a bit of bookwork and theory, but in third year when you get back to school you're just constantly working on your piece. Like that's lit. Like it's I think it's handy out, and woodwork is the same. You do feck all, and then you're like, you have to design. In woodwork it's different, because in metalwork the people who organize it, they design like a car or something for you. We're currently doing this like car with like, you can flick a switch and it goes forwards and it has wing doors and all on it. But in woodwork you actually have to design it yourself. Either you do like a pin board, a stool, like a footstool, or like something to do with music, but it's something like that. And I chose footstool. You have to design it all yourself. You have to draw it. And you just all 100% independent in woodwork.
I'm gonna ask him why, Piers, you don't like French, considering French is it's more practical compared to Irish.
Well, French now, considering French is like, I absolutely hate foreign languages. I don't like hate them as they are, but I just hate learning them, because I only need to learn one language and that's it. I can't learn them. You're so bored and you just couldn't be fucked doing it. Like, I have to let this dog out again.
Yeah, fair. Andy, what are your favorite and least favorite parts about the education system in school?
So I have a lot to say, considering I've been in primary school, secondary school, and I'm about to leave uni as well. So
Yeah.
I'd say I don't like the way they do things in secondary school. I get how you said primary school, it's good considering we're learning like the basics, but I also agree with Piers how they say how he was saying how they don't teach any practical stuff, except when you mentioned like woodwork and metalwork, which are practical subjects. But I also think languages are good. I get it that you don't really like learning it, but I feel like there is a use for them, except for Irish, because no one speaks Irish. Like for French,
Yeah.
actually speak French. Like if you're going to France or some other country that speaks French, like use French. That there's practical sense. That's one thing I like to say about that. And then the absolute worst part, I'd say, is the way they do their exams. The system of exams is really messed up, I think. And well, then at least we have long holidays though, like 3-4 months in the summer.
Yeah, so nice. My favorite part about the school is just having crack with your mates and like kind of getting up to a bit of trouble. Honestly, because it gets the adrenaline going, and like you're making memories at least. At least when I leave school, like I have some fun memories of like when we like covered the table in ink and stuff. Good fun. And then probably my least favorite part are how like even the subjects so important, or the things you learn in school so weird. You don't learn about diet, like what's a healthy diet. You don't learn about how to become like the best version of yourself. You learn about half useless stuff like geography. I guess it is important, but like, does every person really need to know how rivers form? That's just like, so you should be really learning important skills such as financial literacy, how to become like the best version of yourself, reading books, and trying to find like your purpose in life. So much you learn in school is a waste of time. So I just think it could be way more efficient. But the next thing is, what do you guys think is the worst level of the like education system? Do you think college is the worst? Do you think secondary school, primary school? But personally, I think primary school is pretty good, since like you learn the basic. It's not terrible. Like they don't give you exams. What would you say the worst part of the education system?
It's kind of weird for me, I'd say, because they all have good aspects, but they also have bad aspects as well. It's like a good and bad. So secondary school, the way they do exams and then the useless subjects, if they took that out and gave more like practical stuff, like you mentioned, like financial literacy, like bettering yourself, that sort of stuff, then secondary school would be solid. And then, like I did mention earlier about the way they did exams, which is, it's a horrible way. Like one big exam for the junior cert, then leaving cert, you get into college based on points. Like it's just not practical. And then the university, like while you are a bit more free since you're like an adult basically and you're more independent, I feel like they workload from secondary school to university is a big jump as well. It's like a huge jump. Like how Pierce was saying, how the jump from his work in woodwork from second year to third year, like that big jump, it's like a
So, Pierce, what do you think is the worst level of the education system? I know you haven't been in college, so like, me and you don't really know. No, probably don't have the best perspective on this. But what do you think?
Worst level. Primary school is handy out, because I was very different no, seriously, I was really different in primary school, right? Like, I done work, like, actual, like, writing work from, like, infants to, like, first class, right? And after that, I literally didn't write a thing, maybe a tiny bit, or that, like, I used to draw all the time in primary school, But I never done work. The teacher told me to do work. I just sat there. I didn't do work. And since I didn't do work, I got a chair, a table on my own, right up at the front at the wall. Like right up at the front wall. I just sat there, didn't do a thing all the way from first, second class, all the way up to sixth class. And guess what? They were like, oh, you're never going to learn multiplication. Oh, you're never going to learn division. And guess what? I learned all of them just by listening. I learned it by listening without writing one thing. I literally just maybe listened. I just listened, and guess what? I learned it as good as everyone else. Like, that's mad. In secondary school, first year is pretty much the same as sixth class, and then second year is pretty much the same as first year, and then third year is the same as second year, but with like mock exams and a couple other yokes. Like, there's not really a big difference. And then I'm assuming when you get to TY fifth year and all them, it's gonna be like the metalwork, where it's like it goes barely and it's all the way up here. I'm not sure about that, but is that true, Addy?
Yeah, it would be like that, but I didn't do TY. I went straight from junior cert there. So the workload, it went like this to like off the chart, like that sort of thing. That's why I kind of like the idea that they kept TY there just to like try and balance it out. But
Yeah,
still,
just to try transition
yeah,
into it.
yeah, but I still think it's not a good system.
Are you planning to do transition year, Chris?
To be honest, I really don't know. I don't know if I should do fifth year LCA or transition year. Like, I'm clueless what each of them are. I kind of have an idea what TY is, but besides that, I don't know what to choose.
Oh, it's a tough decision, man.
Yeah. Since you're in TY, what's it like in TY compared to like third year differences and all them?
You do so much less work. Most of the work you do, barely anything. Like, you do really easy maths, really easy books. You basically do the basics of third year maths, all the subjects again. And in English, we are looking into like the Leaving Cert paper, but no one takes it seriously because we're in fourth year. The only good thing is you don't really have to do any study. If you're in fifth year, you're gonna have to study lots of homework. Personally, like, I'm just skipping into fifth year if I were you. But if you want a year just to focus on self improvement, I'd pick transition year because you get much more free time. But on the other hand, you get out of the education system way faster if you skip TY. So it's up to you, man.
Instead of just going straight to fifth year, I could do LCA because someone said that LCA is a lot easier than fifth year, so it's like a fifth year. LCA, I think I don't know what the like LCA stands for. I think it stands for Leaving Cert Applied, but I'm really not sure on that.
You're right. It's Leaving Cert Applied.
Addy, I just have a question for you. Is college worth it, or is it a scam?
Yeah.
Since you're in college?
Oh, okay. So for me, from what I've experienced, I feel like it depends how you see it. If you really want to do like a course, like if you really want to be an engineer or you really want to be a doctor, then I feel like college is worth it. But if you really don't, then it's not. It's just like there's kind of no point doing it just because everyone else is doing it.
So
Yeah.
Is it college expensive? I don't know. Is college expensive?
It is very expensive. Very expensive.
Hey, could you give us a
So,
rough ballpark on how much it is a year?
Okay, so for me, since I live in college as well, since it's far away from home, and then I pay fees, so around 10 grand, 10, 11 grand per year.
Expensive, man.
And that's taking like daily expenses as well.
How do you keep making enough money? Does your family give you money, or do you work, or what?
Well, I'm in a good state where my parents help me with finances, so that's good. But there are ways to like what you call get help with that. Like there's a lot of schemes, grants, and all that depending on like income levels and getting a job. But like I would say, getting a job while being in college is stressful in itself, especially if you're doing like a very stressful course like engineering, or if you're trying to be a doctor, because the work that's needed for that is a lot, and then trying to work it's effort.
There's so much work involved. Is college much harder than like probably leaving cert, or is it like a similar level? What do you say?
It depends on the course as well. So like say in my case engineering, like first year, second year are pretty chill. It's more chill like because you have the freedom, and a timetable isn't like secondary school where you come in at 9 and then leave at like 4. There'll be like classes scattered around. You'll have a class at like 12 and then you're done at like 2 or something. one day, and then another day you have to come in for 4 p.m. and then your class ends at like 6 p.m. Like it's random like that. So it's a bit chiller. And another thing is, like I would say, is while though it seems more chill in the sense where you're independent, I feel like work wise you have more work than the actual leaving cert, because the deadlines,
Yeah.
very tight deadlines, and then exams, they make the exams worth more, like a lot more than the actual assignments you do in class. So at that point, if you mess up the assignment, like you're trying to get as much as you can to pass. Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
I have a piece of advice I would like to give
Oh,
people.
nice. That's good.
So one thing I would say is like I this is what I've noticed for a lot of people near the end of secondary school, like even if they do TY, like by 50 or 60 they don't really know exactly what they want to do. They just pick a course they think that they can get and they might like over time, and then they go into the course, but then they realize like halfway through the course that they hate it. And that's what I've noticed. A lot of people, they go into college thinking they like this, but then they hate it, and then they do a job that they don't like for the rest of their lives. Then, so I feel like there needs to be. So if they had the choice to do TY, I'd say do it, and then if needed to decide on something for what they want to do in the future, a gap year is something I'd recommend as well.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm definitely
years,
considering
like
a gap year.
years, get to know yourself, travel even or work. I feel like you'll need that.
There's another thing. If we had a kid, homeschooler by yourself,
Oh
or
yeah.
what's your thoughts on that?
I think personally, I would like to homeschool my kid so I could create like a whole plan and all. But that's only will be able to happen if I reach like financial freedom by that time, which I plan to, but it might not go according to plan. So if I do send him to a school, I would make sure that like I spend like at least an hour or two just me and him, just teaching him like life skills that he'll need, even if he goes to school. Teach him life skills outside of school that school doesn't teach. What about you, Eddie?
For me, I've someone asked me this question actually a while ago about homeschooling. I was thinking about it. I like the idea of it. As you know, you definitely watched Hamza's videos on how he wants to homeschool his kids, make like a tribe sort of setting in his place. I don't know if you remember seeing that. I like the closeness of that. He's trying to bring in primal methods into the modern world, which I agree with. But in terms of homeschooling, I feel like it depends on the kid as well, because like you'll only really know what the kid wants for sure until he or she is older. Like, so I feel like if we're homeschooling, we're sort of forcing our way of thinking into them as well. While I feel like I want them to be more independent as well. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get you. But like, I'd say definitely put them in for primary school and like teach them outside of school
Yeah.
skills. And in secondary
Yes.
school, it's a tough decision, isn't it? Because you think this is the best route for them, but it may just
Yeah.
might not be. You'll have to take a lot of journaling to figure out
Yeah.
that right answer.
Yeah.
Pierce, what do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think homeschool or
Personally, what I would do is if homeschooling my kid, if what I would teach him like the basic maths, like plus and minus multiplication, all that, and then like money and all that. I'd teach him the essentials, and then if I didn't know what else to teach him, I'd go and buy some like primary school books, read them myself, and then pick out what he would need and want, and write that out how to teach it in like my own booklet or something for each subject. So, and then teach him that way, and then teach him what I wish I had when I was younger. So my kid doesn't have to go through the toxic world of the schooling system and get fucking bullied, screamed at by teachers and all that.
one thing that I'd add if I was homeschooling my child is instead of like reading the novels and stuff, read like books that actually help them out in life, such as like How to Win Friends and Influence People, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and let me think of another good one. Relentless by Tim Grover is a good one as well. So yeah, I teach it. I go through those books. Even if he goes to school, I'd still make him read every night. Anyway, boys, do you want to wrap it up now, or do you guys have any final thoughts?
I feel like that's the best way to end it.
Thanks for watching or listening to this, boys. Have a good one and see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.